Hey everyone, welcome back to Triple R Reefer. I'm gonna try to speak up. Hopefully y'all can hear me. I had one person say they had trouble hearing, so let me know if that's an issue for you. Also found out I wasn't shooting in full HD, so hopefully the video is a little nicer. We'll see about that. The content won't be, anyway, kidding. Hopefully it's okay. This video is going to be about proper tank sizing for fish, and specifically tangs. I'm going to give a quick update because there's a few things not going exactly the way I'd like. Maybe one thing. So my clown lost another clown. I'm going to go ahead and say that it's likely due to something in my tank, and I don't like that, but unfortunately that's the way she goes. I don't know what it is. The fish had zero external signs that there was something wrong, besides breathing a little fast, and no other fish showing any signs. Zero. So I'm done buying clowns, unfortunately. Hopefully this guy makes it. Seems to be doing well. Anyway, other than that, everything's going well. Did a few frags and have moved a few. This Nix was cut down and sold. This guy was cut and sold. I got a few things I think I did. Let's come over here, cut that guy. Plan on cutting this guy here very soon. I just don't know how I'm going to get a decent cut. The way these things grow is just not great for cutting with a saw. Alright, let's get back to it. I'm trying to make this short and sweet. I'm sure this Ultra HD is eating up a lot of my storage. Alright, so number one, tangs, they usually require a decent sized tank, and most often all of them will. Okay, a decent sized tank is such a general word, or a general phrase, just a decent size. But what do I mean by that? Most people you hear, you need at least a 6-foot tank. You need at least a 6-foot tank. I'm just going to tell you that's just not true. You might eventually need a 6-foot tank because these tangs do grow, but immediately buying this captive bred yellow tang that was all of a nickel size and transparent does not need a 6-foot tank. Okay, a 4-foot tank, a 5-foot tank, and a 6-foot tank are not going to be a humongous difference to a little tiny fish. Okay, but let's talk about when these fish get bigger. Let's talk about the regal, the hippo tang, dory, blue tang, whatever else they got for it. The fish grows over a foot long in max size, and this tank would look absolutely stupid. I would never put a humongous tang like that in my tank. But let's say you have a 6-foot tank. That 6-foot tank is nothing compared to what it would see in the wild. So I kind of take a little bit of, it bothers me when I hear people that take this high ground that they have a 6-foot tank, and so their fish is going to be so much happier. It's immoral because you have them in a smaller tank when they're babies, okay, when they're small. If you want to talk about morals, all these fish will not, you'll never see them in a little 4-foot, 6-foot, 8-foot box in the ocean. They swim miles a day in most cases. And so you're never going to replicate that. Even these tanks that are thousands of gallons, it's not the same. Are fish happier in bigger tanks? I don't know. I mean, tell me how you tell if a fish is happier. Less fighting, less aggression. I mean, I don't see any smiles on these fish's face, but you know, eating, that's one thing, I guess. But my point is that you can keep tangs in smaller tanks, and as they mature and get bigger, you can rehome them. You can upgrade the tank, okay, and get a smaller one again and start over. This blue tang, when it gets to be too big for this tank, it will go to another home. And that's not just because I think that it wouldn't be okay in here. I think it would be fine. But eventually, it's going to look stupid in this tank. The size is going to be ridiculous. And I'm not saying you can go keep a batfish in a 20-gallon long, okay? The fish is going to get humongous. Some fish, yeah, you can actually keep it in a 20 long for a little while. Even that fish as a baby. And I guess that's really my point. So these people that say you can't do it and are talking crap to these people, these little cubes with a yellow tang in it, a little baby yellow tang or a little baby dory, or blue tang, whatever. Any tang temporarily is fine. You just see on Facebook and some of these comments on Reef to Reef, just people getting roasted for having a tang and a 60 cube, and I think that's ridiculous because it can be done. The fish is fine as long as it's eaten. It's healthy looking, not thin. There's nothing wrong with that. Eventually, I would recommend getting a bigger tank, just because it will start to look stupid. The fish does deserve swimming space, but don't let that stop you from getting a tang in your tank, temporarily at least, 1 to 2 years. This little captive bred tang, $150 from Biota, and would easily be at home in a 60 cube for 3 or 4 years. Easily. Sorry for the glare. That's really all there really is to say. Try to get the biggest tank you can, but know that you're not just SOL because you have a 4-foot tank and you just can't get any tangs. It's just not true. Look at this tank. All these guys eating algae, doing work. There is bickering, but there was bickering in my 6-foot tank. There was bickering in my 7-foot tank. Tanks don't really like each other. So, for people to be like, hey, you need a bigger tank, and then there won't be an aggression, that's just not true. I promise you, there's always a pecking order, and these fish are always trying to figure out who's going to be the boss. And as long as no one's getting pinned up and just straight killed, you're fine. I hope that wasn't, I know that's going to be probably triggering to some. Again, I am not saying go buy yourself a 12-inch Regal tang or a 18-inch unicorn and throw it in a 20 long or a 40 breeder and be like, well, Triple R Reefer, he said I could put any tang I want to in a tank. No, that is stupid. That's ridiculous. Use some judgment, but be your own judge. Don't let anyone else do it for you. All right, that's it for that one. Quickly, I'll say this. My lineatus wrasse, I've heard it called different things. It's going to be a lineatus to me. I've heard lineatus. I don't think that's how you say it, but whatever. Has been rehomed. He is going to another tank. I'm going to get another lineatus female, and also a female rhomboid, and probably an orangeback fairy. Gonna be cool. Wait till y'all see this. I'm gonna have so many wrasses in this tank. I want to push the limits and let y'all see what can really be done in a reef tank. Anyway, any questions y'all got? Any comments, concerns? You disagree? Put them in the comments down below. I'd be happy to hear it, for real. Thank y'all to all my subscribers and people that are, commenting, liking my videos. I really appreciate it. and I'll see y'all on the next one.